I never thought getting sick could change everything. One week, I was just living my normal life, working long hours, laughing with my girlfriend, planning little things we'd do together. And the next, I was barely holding on. Fever, chills, and exhaustion that hit me so hard I couldn't even get out of bed. And that's when I realized I wasn't alone, or maybe I should say, I was surrounded by the wrong people. Her name was Emma. We'd been together for 3 years, or at least I thought we were. She was the kind of girlfriend you see in movies, funny, confident, always full of energy. But when I got sick, something inside her changed. She started avoiding me, making excuses, saying she had too much on her plate to come over, leaving me to sleep in the dark, shivering under a mountain of blankets. And yet, every few days, she'd check in with a quick text. "Hope you're feeling better." That was it. Just words. No action, no warmth, no care. Meanwhile, I started noticing subtle things. Calls going unanswered, her social media buzzing more than usual, the faint scent of perfume that wasn't mine on my pillow. I didn't want to believe it, but something felt wrong. Really wrong. Then came the knock on my door that I wasn't expecting. It was quiet, almost hesitant. And there she was, her sister, Lily. She wasn't someone I knew well. We'd met a few times at family dinners, but that was it. Unlike Emma, Lily had this calm, gentle energy, the kind that makes you feel safe even when your whole world is spinning. She looked at me and didn't flinch at the sight of my feverish, bedridden self. She didn't turn away or complain. She just came in and sat down, like she belonged there. Over the next few days, Lily did things that Emma should have done but never did. She cooked for me, cleaned my apartment, made me laugh when all I wanted was to cry. She stayed late, making sure I drank water, taking my temperature, rubbing my back when the chills were unbearable. Slowly, I began to feel alive again, even in the middle of the chaos my life had become. But here's the part that nobody expects. As I got stronger, I started to notice small, strange patterns. Little texts on Emma's phone I wasn't supposed to see. Shared laughs between Emma and someone else that didn't include me. And one evening, as I sat propped up in bed, Lily handed me a cup of tea and paused, her face serious in a way that made my heart skip a beat. "You need to know the truth," she said softly. I looked at her, confused. My mind raced. Could she mean Emma? Or something else entirely? That moment, that single sentence, was the start of a truth I wasn't ready for, and a betrayal I would never forget. Before I got sick, life felt simple, at least on the surface. Emma and I had a rhythm. She worked long hours too, but we made it work. We'd have dinner together when we could, binge our favorite shows on weekends, and plan little trips whenever time allowed. I thought we were happy. I thought we were a team. But like so many people, we were living in our little bubble, blind to the cracks beneath. Emma's family was complicated. Her sister, Lily, was always the responsible one. Quiet, thoughtful, a little reserved. People liked her instantly, but she wasn't flashy like Emma. Emma thrived on attention, on being the center of every room, every conversation. Lily stayed in the shadows, and I never gave her much thought until now. Looking back, there were signs I missed. Emma's late nights at work that stretched longer than necessary. The small lies about where she was or who she was with. I brushed them off at the time, calling myself paranoid. I trusted her. I really did. I didn't realize that trust, the kind I gave freely, could be broken so easily. Then there was me, sick, weak, barely able to lift my head. I never thought illness could reveal so much. Vulnerability is strange. It strips away your defenses, and suddenly you see the people around you clearly for who they truly are. And in that stripped-down moment, Emma's indifference was undeniable. Her absence, her excuses, they weren't about being busy or tired. Something else was happening, something I wasn't ready to face. Lily, on the other hand, appeared like an unexpected lifeline. She didn't judge me. She didn't complain about my mess, my constant requests for help, or the way I drifted in and out of sleep. She just acted, quietly, efficiently, with patience I hadn't realized I needed. It was like she had always known I might need someone, even if I didn't know it myself. There were small, almost unnoticed moments that hinted at deeper things. A lingering glance Lily would give when Emma wasn't looking. The way she seemed to notice every little detail about my health, my moods, my fears. I felt safe around her, more than I had in months, maybe even years. But I also started feeling a strange guilt, like I was betraying Emma just by letting myself rely on her sister. And then came that night. Emma had promised she'd stop by, said she wanted to check on me, but she never showed. My fever was high, my body trembling, and Lily was there, quietly holding my hand, humming softly to calm me. It should have felt normal, comforting, but instead, I felt the tension build. Something was off, and I could feel it in the air, thick and heavy, like a storm about to break. I tried to tell myself it was nothing, just stress, just my sickness making things seem worse. But deep down, I knew better. I could sense it, the lie beneath the surface, the truth hidden behind smiles and text messages. And just when I thought I could rest, safe under Lily's watch, my phone buzzed with a message that would change everything. It was from Emma. The message from Emma flashed across my phone, and my chest sank. It was short, almost casual. "Can we talk? I think we need to be honest about everything." Honest? My fever-addled mind scrambled to make sense of it. Everything. What did she mean? I felt a cold weight settle in my stomach. I glanced at Lily, who was quietly sitting beside me, her eyes soft but alert. She noticed the tension before I even spoke. "Do you want me to read it?" she asked gently. I shook my head. I wanted to see it for myself, even if it hurt. Over the next few days, the house became a strange battlefield. Emma's messages were constant, sometimes apologetic, sometimes evasive, sometimes oddly cold. Each one left me spinning, trying to figure out what was real and what wasn't. And then the little things began to pile up. Friends calling to ask if I'd seen her, casual comments from coworkers about Emma being busy with someone else. Every word felt like another puzzle piece, each one cutting sharper than the last. I found myself watching her social media obsessively, each post twisting my stomach into knots. Pictures of her smiling with people I didn't know, tagged in places she claimed she'd never been. And the worst part? The sick, helpless version of me, the one who couldn't leave the apartment, couldn't confront her, was at the mercy of these tiny, cruel hints. Meanwhile, Lily stayed close, her presence a strange mix of comfort and guilt. She would sit for hours, reading to me, helping me eat, listening as I muttered things I didn't fully understand myself. And every time I looked at her, I felt this growing tension, like the truth was so close, yet so terrifying, that I didn't want to face it. Then came the night I couldn't sleep. Fever still high, body trembling, mind racing. I picked up my phone and tried to call Emma, desperate for answers. She didn't pick up. A few minutes later, a new message appeared. It wasn't from her. It was a photo. A single, blurry image of Emma, smiling, but not with me. She was holding hands with someone else. Someone close enough that their faces were almost touching. My heart pounded. My vision blurred. I dropped the phone, and it landed on the floor with a sharp crack. Lily bent down to pick it up, her expression unreadable. She looked at me, and for the first time, I saw a flicker of something I couldn't name. Fear, worry, maybe even anger. "You need to see something," she whispered. I wanted to ask what she meant. I wanted to scream, to rage, to collapse. But instead, I froze. Because deep down, I already knew. Whatever Lily was about to show me would change everything. I barely had time to process Lily's words before she pulled out a small, folded envelope from her pocket. My heart thumped. "What's this?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. She hesitated, then handed it to me. Inside were photos, dozens of them, taken over the past few weeks. Emma wasn't just with someone else. She was sneaking around, lying to everyone, and meeting him at my apartment while I was asleep. Every image was more damning than the last. Keys left in the door, shadows moving past my bedroom window, drinks left untouched on the counter. My chest tightened. Betrayal burned hotter than any fever. But then I noticed something that made my stomach drop even further. In every photo, someone was always watching. Always. And it wasn't Lily. It was another figure, dark and shadowed, lurking silently in the corners, always just out of focus, but always there. Lily's face went pale. "I didn't want to tell you, but you're not just being cheated on. Someone has been planning this, watching you, tracking you, for a long time." I swallowed hard, my hands trembling. My world, already broken, felt like it was collapsing entirely. And in that moment, I realized the truth was far worse than I could ever have imagined. By the time I put the envelope down, my head was spinning. Fever or no fever, nothing could prepare me for what I was about to do. I followed Lily to the small study at the back of my apartment. a room I had barely used before. She opened her laptop, fingers trembling as she brought up surveillance footage she'd secretly collected over the past week. My heart pounded as the video played. There was Emma, exactly as the photos had shown, slipping into my apartment, laughing softly, pretending to tidy up while her eyes darted toward the bedroom. And then, the shadowy figure appeared again. This time, it was clearer. A man I didn't recognize, moving with calculated precision, almost enjoying watching me suffer. Lily whispered, "He's been following her, using her to get to you." I felt my stomach twist. Why? Who is he? Before she could answer, the door creaked behind us. Emma stepped in, her expression a mix of panic and defiance. "It's not what it looks like," she shouted. But I wasn't listening. My eyes were locked on the screen. The man in the footage turned, and for the first time, I saw his face clearly. My blood ran cold. It was my best friend, someone I trusted completely, someone I had invited into my home countless times. Emma froze. Lily gasped. And I realized that the betrayal wasn't just romantic. It was calculated, sinister, and far bigger than I had imagined. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to confront them both. But then Lily reached over and pressed pause on the video. She turned to me. "I'm serious. You need to see what he's planning next. And it's happening tonight." I felt the weight of the room pressing down on me. Sick or not, I couldn't ignore it. The truth was out, the lies exposed, but the danger was far from over. Emma, the man I thought I could trust, and the secret I hadn't even begun to uncover. It was all colliding in one terrifying moment. I looked at Lily. Her calm demeanor had vanished, replaced by a fierce determination. "We have to stop this before it's too late." And in that instant, I realized, even after everything, nothing had prepared me for what would happen when we finally confronted them. The night was heavy, almost suffocating, as Lily and I prepared ourselves to confront them. I felt weak, fever remnants still clinging to my body, but adrenaline and anger gave me strength I didn't know I had. Every step toward the door was a battle between fear and the need for truth. We found Emma and my so-called best friend waiting in my living room. Emma's eyes flickered with guilt, her usual confidence crumbling. The man, my friend, looked smug, but there was also a hint of panic. He hadn't expected us to be ready. I spoke first, my voice trembling but firm. "Why? Why betray me like this?" Emma swallowed hard. Her voice cracked. I didn't know how to stop it. I thought I was protecting you, but I got lost in my own fear. I never meant for it to go this far." I looked at her, the hurt burning deep inside me. "Protect me? By lying? By letting someone else, someone you knew was dangerous, use me?" She couldn't answer. She just lowered her gaze. Then Lily stepped forward, her calm returning, her presence commanding. "It ends tonight. Either you leave, or we call the police. No more lies, no more games." The man's smugness vanished. He realized he was cornered, and in that moment, he made a mistake. He lunged toward Emma, toward me, but Lily reacted faster than I thought possible. She grabbed him, pushed him to the ground, and held him there until the sound of sirens filled the street. We had called ahead, prepared for this confrontation. The police arrived moments later, taking him into custody. Emma sank onto the couch, her face pale, trembling. I looked at her and felt a strange mixture of relief and heartbreak. She had betrayed me, yes, but she was human. She had weaknesses, fears, and she had made terrible choices. But she wasn't the enemy anymore. The real danger was gone. Lily stayed by my side the whole time, silently guiding me through the aftermath. I realized that night how much she had cared, not because of obligation, but because of genuine empathy. She had nursed me back to health, both physically and emotionally, when I was at my weakest. Days later, I started to recover fully. Emma and I never went back to the way things were. We couldn't, but we parted with a fragile honesty. I forgave her, not because she deserved it, but because I needed to let go of the anger that had almost consumed me. And Lily, well, she became something I never expected, the person I trusted most in the world. Our bond wasn't romantic, but it was deeper, built on truth, care, and survival. As I sat by my window one evening, thinking back on everything, I realized something important. Betrayal is painful, yes, but it also exposes the people who truly belong in your life. The ones who stay when the world turns against you. The ones who choose to fight for you, not for themselves. Those are the people who matter. And sometimes, it takes losing everything you thought you had to finally see who your real allies are.